Thanks, Tom. Hey, again, I told the players we certainly are not excited or happy at all with the result of the second half again. And right now, that's on my watch. And I know the fans and everybody are frustrated by that result. And nobody will take it more personal than I will. And everybody needs to hear that, you know. This isn't what the Purdue football program should be, and not what anybody wants. And we haven't got it done, especially we haven't gotten it done and done it in our own stadium. So it's something that's continued to be addressed by me and find ways to finish this thing out. And my responsibilities promised to Mike and in this deal were to make sure we play our guts out, play hard every snap, and give these guys the best chance to have something they want to be proud of when they leave here, especially for our seniors. So my whole goal and everything that will keep me going and driving this football team will be to give the seniors something they'll be proud of and give these underclassmen a reason to feel proud about Purdue football and leading into a change ahead for them. So we'll go back to work with that and go from there to start back next week, starting tomorrow. So with that, I'm sure you'll have questions.
Just things are happening in the second half right now. How much of that is simply not having enough Big Ten ready players because of what's happening with the injuries right now?
Yeah, that's a tough question. You know what I mean? It's a tough question. In my opinion, yes, it's a factor, no doubt. But you know what? We've also put ourselves in bad positions and had too many bad things happen in the second half that have created some of those things even becoming multiplied, I guess would be the point, you know. There's things we can do better to not have to put young players out there as much, especially on defense. And when you do that, it gets amplified because of where we're at, and it's cost us.
David, you guys have built a 10-0 lead. Then you threw the interception pass. What did you see on that play? And then how do you believe that changed the complexion of the game?
It was just man coverage. We had slants called, and I just missed my spot. Went to the right place with the ball. I missed, and that's the frustrating part because, like you said, as a Big Ten quarterback, I'm too good to miss, but I did, and that's the frustrating part of it. And of course, you know, they capitalize, they score on it, and it's unacceptable because you can't miss when that's the situation, and it hurts because I think all three of the turnovers led to points immediately after.
Marcus, how do you feel how the defense played?
Well, obviously, the first half, I mean, the whole team came out fast, and that's been the story of the past few weeks, right? I mean, we have to do a better job of when that adversity strikes, three turnovers or whatever. We have to respond to that adversity better. We can't allow those to lead to points like they did. And obviously, in the second half, we let those lead to points. So I'm disappointed that we didn't respond how we should have, and we ended up giving 42 points.
Jared dumped a lot of Bentley today. What's his situation?
Well, he didn't play.
Other questions?
Bilal, just kind of what is the mood on the sideline in a game like this where all the guys that you're guys counting on to be the best players on this team, it seems like the injuries just keep piling up and you're seeing more of them on the sideline than you are on the field?
I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, everybody on the field has to be accountable, and whoever's on the field got to step up and make a play. Everybody knows that, and we just got to go do it. That's pretty much it.
Just the thought process behind keeping Navon and Nickel in that matchup and not moving Dewan, who you had said earlier was your best cover guy?
Yeah, I knew it was a trap question earlier in the week, right? I get you. There's more to it than just putting them in the spot in the guy and still being able to play scheme. Obviously, you're going to find ways to have to move guys, but at the same time, you got to they move them enough to put him in great positions, 80 and others. You know, we got hurt by other guys too in the secondary, but I get you. You know, loud and clear, and we do too. I mean, obviously, there were many things discussed on how to carry him when he was at number 3 or when they moved him. And when you get guys in position to make plays, they've got to make them. But you also, if we do too much, try to move too many guys around, change scheme when we're already thin, obviously, then you risk worse. So that was the discussion, and it's a fair discussion, and it was good. You know, it was the same thing you mentioned is the same thing we discussed, and that's what we trusted was the best thing to do, to line up sound and try to make plays that way.
David, it's happened a couple times, but is there something coming out of halftime on the first couple drives? Is that a rhythm on the offense that leads to the turnovers? A bit of continuity. Could you speak to that?
No, you know, we just haven't executed well, and it just happens to happen at the same point, and at least the last couple of weeks, and like I said, it's frustrating, man. It just, we just haven't, we've been in position to succeed, coached well, and we just haven't, on the field, we haven't executed a lot on my behalf coming out of the second half.
Marcus, you're one of the guys that other people on this team have talked about as, you know, kind of growing into a leadership role on this team. What are you learning from this season, this experience? What are you going to, you think, take forward from this?
Well, I've been thrown into a leadership role a few different times, having to play Mike. You have to get the front right, get the coverage and everything, so that's making me have to mature quicker and have to accept that leadership role that in the past I haven't been that good at, but I mean, this year has definitely been a growing experience for me. I'll take that forward next year.
Navon, just what are some of the challenges with Carr and, you know, with their passing offense and, you know, not only him, but some of the other challenges that it presents?
Yeah, Austin, he was a really shifty guy. He ran out good routes. But the quarterback, a lot of times, he did a good job finding holes in our zones when we were running zone a lot. So that helped him a lot on third down.
Coach, what did you say? What was your message to the team at the half?
Good question, and I failed in my opening statement to say I think that Coach Fitzgerald is a complete class act, and is what college football and the whole model was built for. And to get a chance to meet him and shake his hand and spend time with him, and hear what he's about, already knowing it was incredible. And I think it needs to be said for this profession because I think he's in it for the right reasons. And what a great guy. My message at the half was a question. You know, we talked about being right there in a football game where we've been and how we have to expect for great things coming out of the locker room to go, you know, and as simple as that sounds, that's all you can do. You know, another rah-rah speech or some awe-inspiring, it isn't about that. This isn't, things aren't going to change for us now or in the future here by words per se. You know, it's a complete commitment to narrowing your focus when things go wrong and when they go right, and expecting good things to happen, which you all heard me say time and time again. And I still expect good things to happen. I'll be frustrated tonight and certainly just completely torn apart by this. But at the same time, I'll wake up and hug my kids in the morning, come back to work, and give the rest of what's been given to this football program for these 2 weeks.
Jared, saying all that, how do you keep this group engaged the last 2 days?
To be honest with you, Mike, I don't think it'll be that hard because we do have great leadership. And for the ones that may waver, I get it. You know, you always are concerned about that. I think they'll be pulled together by our leaders and pulled together by me and our staff. You know, we'll make sure of that. You know, there's things that you have to demand from them still, and you've got to be creative in how you demand them in a tough situation right now. But I don't think now there's still plenty to play for. Our seniors have senior day next week, and then obviously a big game 2 weeks from now that you won't have to ask them to get ready to play. So I don't think I would have been more worried 2 weeks ago about losing them than I would be right now.
Jared, you said obviously, you know, you're frustrated and torn up about this. What bothers you the most about this one?
I think just honestly a culmination of that feeling of going into that locker room again in Ross A this way. You know, that's the most frustrating and part I feel bad about and feel responsible for right now. You know, there's just too many times we've come into that locker room and done that, and it shouldn't be that way. You know, it shouldn't be that way, and it won't be moving forward. And but naturally, I mean, everybody who can't in their right mind not want to do more and feel more responsible than me. You know, because right, wrong, or indifferent, every one of these questions are at me. You know, and it takes, it takes strength to be able to handle all this. And, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from this process.
Coach, having Rod back, just what was his message to the team, and what did it mean to have him there?
Well, anytime you bring a guy back with, number one, he's a great man. His delivery and his spirit about him, how he carries himself is quickly received when you shake his hand. And to have a guy like that back with that type of spirit is great. And then you throw on the mere fact of the introduction I gave him at breakfast when you read off his portfolio and what he's accomplished at both here and in the NFL, it quickly grabs the respect of our football players. He's a warrior, and his message was just to continue to keep a band of brothers together, to expect great things to happen, and to play this game hard. All the things we discussed, and he just reiterated those things, and certainly glad to have him around our football team.
Take one more.
Jared, you had a few guys leave the game early. Wilson, Posey, Markel, I think. I might be forgetting somebody. Any of those injuries that you deem serious right now from what you know?
Yeah, I don't, and again, don't take me as being disrespectful to your question earlier. It's just, there's a reason. You gotta know there's a reason. Just as there is for those guys. I haven't talked to Doug yet to get the severity of them, but they weren't able to finish. You guys see that. Sure hope it ain't, bad to where they can't get back through this week. So we'll see. I don't know just yet.
One more.
Well, just what's your message to the rest of this team for the rest of these final 2 weeks?
We just gotta stick together and understand, not to be selfish, but, for us seniors who've been here, this is our last 2 weeks, the last week being a raw save, against a big opponent. And obviously, man, we haven't seen the bucket in forever. And I was on that team my freshman year when I was redshirted. We had that bucket. I know how that feeling is. So those are things I just want to feel again. Just put us in a position to, go into this, for the younger guys, go into the offseason with some momentum, because nobody knows what's going to happen after these last 2 weeks. So, just make sure that everybody understands that we need to cherish these moments, because no matter what happens, the locker room won't be the same after this. The seniors will be gone. Some of the coaches may not be here. You just don't know. So, just trying to keep everybody together and just, cherish these moments.
Thanks, everybody.